begin to take off and then fire, and it's caught. Touchdown, James Jones.
Rogers. With time. Down the sideline. Has his man. Jordy Nelson. Nelson on his way.
Two-minute warning here in Arlington over the middle. Caught. Touchdown. Craig Jennings.
Last time. Now some pressure. Throws it deep. Jordy Nelson. He's got it inside the 20.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! That's a victory Sunday, baby. That's how we do it. We do it big. We do it fun. And that is a 43-34 victory for the Green Bay Packers. Holy smokes.
I want to rock right now.
I want to rock right now, too. How we doing? This is a post route. This is Game On Wisconsin. I'm Alex Strouf. That's producer Kyle Huffenbecker, at K Huffenbecker on Twitter, at Alex_Strouf. For me, phone line's wide open. We're taking your reactions, 877-878-7683. Kyle, good to be back with you, my friend. You ready to answer some phone calls for me?
As soon as I get them, I'll be answering.
I love it. I love it. How you feeling after that victory, my friend? That was a fun one.
You know, to quote one of my favorite songs, I feel good like I should.
Like you should. Sunday best. I'm going to crack one open for the victory.
I'm not
going to say what it's called, but I'm going to do that. Cheers to you all. The phone line's wide open, 877-878-7683. And before we really dive in, let's run over some stats. Obviously, a big-time win. Everybody's really freaking pumped up, as you should be, right? I mean, what a performance from the Packers offense, putting up 43 points today. Aaron Rodgers looked immaculate, and we'll get to him a little bit deeper here in just a second. But overall, happy with the offense. I am, Kyle. And the defense, obviously not thrilled with the 34 points. That last touchdown, Jair got burned after what was a big first half for him. But overall, you walk away 1-0. You walk away with a smile on your face.
You know, I'm a firm believer, and especially we saw it last year. You know, it doesn't matter how much you win by or how you get it done. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is what's in the win-loss column. And, you know, you leave the first week of the season with a win against a division rival, no less. I mean, yeah, you can't be any more happier than right now.
Can't make more of a happy stance than that, Kyle, can you? So Kyle, standing by, taking your phone calls. Phone line is on your screen twice. I hope you can read it, 877-878-7683. We'll get to some of your reactions here in about 10 minutes. But we got to start with the man. And as the one Stephen A. Smith calls him, a bad man in week one was none other than Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, 32 of 44, 364 yards, and 4 touchdowns today. But as appealing as that stat line is, that doesn't really tell the story of what makes a good quarterback versus a great quarterback. A great quarterback in terms of Aaron Rodgers. I mean, look at the adversity the Packers faced in that first half. 3 trips to the red zone, 2 field goals, and a turnover on downs where they couldn't punch it in from the 1-yard line on 3 chances. 3 chances, and that's why you got a guy like A.J. Dillon. You acquired him. I get it's game 1. Maybe you don't want to run him too hard. I get that. But 3 trips to the red zone in the first half. You get 2 field goals and 1 turnover on downs out of that. Then we get to the 2-minute warning, do we? And Rodgers finds Devontae Adams with a bullet 24-yarder, tiptoe in the corner of the end zone. It got reviewed. Questionable, sure, but it still goes on the scoreboard. And that takes it from 8-7 to 15-7. And then we have the big play of the first half, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who Rodgers has been praising all season or all offseason long, and really goes back to last season with Rodgers' praise of MVS. nails him for a huge touchdown, and makes it 22-7 as the Vikings eventually get the ball back, kick a field goal, 22-10 going into the half. But that 2-minute drill at the end of that first half really stamps Rodgers, and when he knows it's time to turn it up. All offseason, we've been talking about this hypothetical chip on his shoulder. Jordan Love drafted in the first round this year in the NFL draft. If that's not a chip already, fine. Start looking at the publications that Rodgers called out earlier this week that are picking the Packers to finish worse than the Bears, the Lions, the Vikings. ESPN, somebody there, picked the Packers to take last place in the NFC North, but number 12 is not going to let that happen as he goes bananas in week 1 of the 2020 season, 32 for 44, 364 yards, and 4 touchdowns for Rodgers. And I saw this just popped up on the screen. I didn't mean to ignore it, but Switchy1 on Periscope timing in on the chat. Rodgers MVP this year, hot take. Not a hot take. If anybody looks like the MVP in the National Football League after, 8, 9, 10 games, it's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was the best player on the field today in that game. He might be the best player we see play today. Aaron Rodgers looks that good. And there's been all the commentary, all the conversation, all the debates about how Aaron Rodgers might have lost a step as he ages. And then we hear the quote this summer about how he looked at 2010 tape and he's taking bits and pieces away from that season and implementing that back in his game, taking it back to the basics, really pounding in the basics and the things that he won a Super Bowl MVP with. He implemented that, and that showed today. And the leadership of number 12 in that 2-minute drill in that first half to throw 2 touchdowns, and a big thanks to number 23, Jair Alexander, who we'll get to in a second, with an interception in between those 2 possessions, to make it go from 8-7 to 22-10 at the end of the half. Now, we've talked a lot about how this season is going to be wackier, is going to be weirder, is going to be so much different than any other season we've seen on record. And how about that first half? Kirk Cousins threw 5 passes. The Packers' first time in the end zone was when Jair was dragging down Kirk Cousins for a safety. Who expected that? The first time the Packers are in the end zone is a safety, not a touchdown. Obviously, Crosby, a big day for him as well, knocking home all of his extra point attempts and 2 field goals. So Mason Crosby still got it. He's looking pretty darn sharp, isn't he? But yeah, Jair overall, man, a safety and an interception in the first half. He gets burned on that last touchdown against Adam Thielen, the final score of the game, to make it 43-34. But there is a couple other headlines that aren't so fun, like a W or a division rival win. Now we've got injuries to look at. As we've talked about plenty this season, this offseason especially, injuries are probably going to be larger this year. They are probably going to be more prominent, especially early, given the lack of a preseason, given the lack of full speed reps that these guys have gotten. We've talked about a few scrimmages, and that's about it this offseason for full speed stuff. So the injuries, they came down today. Kenny Clark, the first one, obviously signed big money, the highest paid nose tackle in NFL history. Kenny Clark now goes down with a groin injury. He's out for the game. That was a first half injury. Severity and length of that to be determined. We'll keep an eye on that here as we get into post game and press conferences coming up with Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers, and others. Lane Taylor went down with a bad leg injury, and it was not looking pretty. He only played 2 games last year. He was able to pop into that line and win a starting role, and he went down today. So, and it, like I said, it didn't look good. He was carted off. So we'll see for Lane Taylor, but a guy that was so pumped this offseason, a guy that was so excited to get back out there, only played 2 games again last year. So it's interesting to see what will happen there, but the best to Lane Taylor. And another offensive line injury in Lucas Patrick, who filled in today as a starter. And he went down in the first half as well. And that allowed Elton Jenkins to go back to his original role. But still, you're only allowed to carry 8 offensive linemen, and now you're down to 6. So that's not ideal. As Lane Taylor and Lucas Patrick go down today. Excited to get your thoughts. Phone lines are wide open for anybody far and near, 877-878-6766. 76-83. Producer Kyle standing by to take your calls as the Packers roll 43-34 today in Minnesota. The Packers are 1-0 in the season. How excited can you get about that? The other team in the NFC North that's 1-0 is not the team that had a 93.8% win probability with less than 4 minutes left. You heard me right. The Lions, with under 4 minutes to go in their game against the Chicago Bears, had a 93.8 win probability, according to ESPN, to win that football game. And it got as high as 98% at points in that game, which is just unbelievable. But Mitch Trubisky somehow found out he had a clutch gene, throwing 3 fourth-quarter touchdown passes, Mitch Trubisky was. And obviously a lot of the commentary and the discussion out of Chicago this week was, why the hell are the Bears going with Mitch Trubisky? Why the hell are they going that direction? They've got a Super Bowl MVP and Nick Foles on their roster, and they're letting a guy that drove their franchise straight back into the ground last year take the wheels. And he said, I don't think so. I'm not just any quarterback. I'm former number 2 overall pick Mitch Trubisky, damn it.
With the second pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback, North Carolina.
Mitchell Trubisky's a second overall pick, baby. He threw 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns to win the Bears that game. 27-23, your final. And Lions gonna Lions, says Aaron on YouTube. Absolutely. Very Lions-esque. You know, I'm a guy that's high on the Lions. I feel like a lot of people also have that take this offseason. I'm a guy that thought the Lions really have a good chance. I know we're only through 1 week, so we can't overreact too much. But I was a guy that thought the Lions were a playoff team. They were. I still think they've got a shot to take second place in this division. I still think it's doable. I don't know if it will happen, but I think it's doable. So we'll see what happens as the Lions are next on the Packers schedule. They come to Lambeau next weekend to take on Green Bay. So let's jump into some players I want to make note of because we had a football game today, and we're talking football. We're breaking down a final score, 43-34 is that final score as the Packers top the Vikings. The first name on my list, of course, Aaron Rodgers. We went through him. Davante Adams, another name on that list. Davante Adams had 14 receptions. He was targeted 17 times. Kirk Cousins threw 19 completions, to put that into perspective. So Kirk Cousins threw 19 completions. Aaron Rodgers found Davante Adams 14 times. Put that into perspective, man. You'd rather have number 12 on your side, I think. But he finished with 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. Only one guy so far this week has caught more than 156 yards. It's Julio Jones with 157. Just sneaks past Davante Adams for the early season lead. So, again, to put that into perspective, Davante Adams is the second leading receiver in the NFL with 156 yards and 2 touchdowns today against Minnesota. What a win for the Packers. We're feeling good like we should here on a Sunday, celebrating a Sunday victory. Here on the Post Route, I'm Alex Strouf. You can find me on Twitter at Alex_Strouf. Appreciate you all chiming in on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope/Twitter. We want to talk. I mean, this is a conversation, so feel free to keep chiming in on either of those sites. Shoot us a text or a call, 877-878-7683, or tweet us at GameOnWI or at Alex_Strouf. My friend Matt Ramage is going to be dropping by very shortly. In fact, he just popped in. So we might as well just pull him in, man. I'm excited to get Drunken Matt's perspective. What up, Matty? How are you?
Hey, what's good, man? I've been doing a little bit of drinking. I've been doing a little celebrating.
Cheers.
Cheers, my man. I'm drinking Coors Light today because
I've got the very PG label here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But cheers to that.
No, cheers for sure. No, but this game was ridiculous. I'm having a good time.
So what's the big takeaway for Matt Ramage today? Matt, what is the big takeaway? Is it Aaron Rodgers is looking like an MVP? Is it Jair really having a great first half? Is it MVS learning how to catch the ball, then learning how to redrop the ball, and then learning how to catch again? I mean, what's the big takeaway for you today?
Well, I think Aaron Rodgers is huge because everyone was saying he's done. He doesn't have it. Like first game of the season, he's making a big statement, 4 touchdowns. Like I just think he balled out. MVS, I think that I was talking to my son about this because he was complaining about him. I was like, he's got it. He's got it. That's why they keep going to him. That's why they keep putting him in, is because he's got everything that the size, the speed, and all that. He's just got to catch the ball, which I think that he can. Hopefully he improves that. You know what I mean? I love MVS. I'm rooting for him, but it's like you got to catch those balls. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
Like Jair, like you mentioned, like
Jair. Did you just say Jair? How drunk are you?
I'm a little bit drunk. It's early too.
Yeah, I mean it's 3:45 in Wisconsin, Lambeau time.
But that's Sunday.
Normal. But you're celebrating. It's Sunday, and you're celebrating a Packers victory. Yeah. I'm okay with it. Yeah,
it's a Packers game. Like you got to drink. Like I didn't start drinking right away. I was like, it's only noon. All right, I'm not on vacation. But then, like the first quarter started, I was like, all right, now I can start drinking. No, but like I knew that he would take big steps. But like he had a hell of a game. Like. I'm excited. Like there are some injuries that really worry me a lot, but I'll worry about those tomorrow. And today we celebrate this victory, baby.
So Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, everybody seemed to have a big day on the offensive side of things. Bring me into the head, man, of what you saw at Davante Adams today. 14 catches, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. Got to be pretty damn happy with that, man. I mean, just an outrageous showing again from DA.
Yeah, Davante Adams, like the thing that's impressive with a guy like Davante and like any number 1 receiver in the league is everyone knows they want to go to them, especially the Packers, because everyone talks about the Packers of, they don't have no wide receivers and all that, so that you know that they're getting Davante Adams that ball. They're trying to get that ball to Davante, and he still does it. And like they were dinking and dunking him early. And then Aaron was just slinging it. Like there was just like some passes. I was like, this is like Madden, and you hit the wrong button.
Right.
He was just slinging that thing out there. But like Davante is so impressive because when you know they're going to you and you still get it, like that's baller status right there. That's like baller. Best in the league, baby.
Speaking of baller status, Matt, did you see Aaron Jones rocking those shades on the sideline at the end of the game?
No, I think I missed that because I was trying to set this up.
Golden shades. It was good to see, and then of course more swagger just because you can do it. We had Rodgers drinking a purple hydration liquid.
I love that.
Have you ever had a sip of the purple hydration liquid before, Matthew?
Oh, you got to drink it, I don't have any Viking fans around me, but if I did, I would drink it so much more. Like, I think that he knows what he's doing. I don't know if he does. Maybe he just likes it, but like, I think that I never see anyone talk about it unless they're playing the Vikings. Then he's just up there drinking. I love it. I actually posted that picture on my Instagram. It's like,
there you go.
Viking fans get on my nerves. All right. They were I made a video, a little bit tipsy video, just before I got on here. And I said, like, Viking fans were chirpy. Like, they're the off-season champs. That's what they do during the off-season. They just chat. They just talk. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Like I always say, they're the we're going to champions because they're always going to do. But when the game is played, the Vikings don't do it. And Viking fans get quiet real quick. Like, if the Packers lose, I talk trash. I won't turn off my social media. I'll be like, all right, you guys got us on that one, or I'll just keep talking trash. Probably that. But like Viking fans got quiet. People were like, I'm screenshotting this take because after the game we'll see. But like after the game, like, where are you at?
Right.
They're gone. They're gone.
So, Drunken Matt Ramage joins us. He's the host of the Ramblin' Matt Ramage podcast, which you can find wherever you get your podcasts and YouTube. And Matt, you had Tim Boyle on this week. Tell us about that conversation. Did you? I assume I haven't been able to listen to it. I'm sorry, I'm a horrible friend. But I assume you had some Vikings talk. What did he have to say earlier this week?
Well, we talked about like a funny story. Like I shouldn't tell, but I'm a little tipsy, so I'll tell you this story.
I like where we're headed.
Halfway through that interview, I had a brain fart and I froze. You ever do that? Maybe probably not because you're good at what you do.
Dude, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I have, but I've had other situations in which I freeze, right? But I don't think during interviews now. So you just froze. How do you react? What happened?
I was like, because like I got notes. I got a little whiteboard over here, the things I want to talk about. And I'm mostly freestyling most stuff when I talk to players. And like my brain just shut off. And it's never happened. I've talked to like, Kenny Clark. I've talked to like a lot of players. I've never had it happen. I was like, I just have a brain fart. And I was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, all right, just give me a minute. And he was really cool. He was like, that's all right. He's like, you're good. And he was like trying to like help me out. And like it wouldn't come back. It was like a minute. I'm like, you have any suggestions? Like, and then he started talking. And then I was like, oh wait, I got it. So then I started going again. And then I just edit it so nobody knows.
Right. But now we know. Now you just told us. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just told us.
I wasn't going to tell anyone. I was like, I'm going to keep that one a secret. No, but like that's what it is. Like when you're doing like, I'm not that good. I'm trying to learn. It was funny. He laughed. He was like, it's all good. He was really cool. No, but like, I forgot what we even talked about. But
wow.
he was
you're freezing cool. Again, Matt.
No, I am. I'm starting to freeze again. Talking about freezing got me nervous. No, but he talked about like I asked him about like with no fans in the stands, and he was like, he's like that's like totally will help the offense because obviously they can hear. Like, he's like we won't have to do any silent count. Aaron's gonna ball out on him, and he was right because Aaron balled out on him.
Aaron balled out on him indeed. Ramblin' Matt Ramage is our guest. And Matt, we got the picture of Aaron Jones with the glasses, so we got to show it to you. Look how swagalicious that is, man.
Dude, Aaron Jones is like one of the most swaggiest people of all swag.
Swaggiest people of all swag.
Dude, Swag sees him and says we should change our name to Aaron Jones. You know what I mean? Dude, so many players on this team are just so much fun. Like Jamal Williams, I think is one of the most fun people to like just watch and see. And like he follows me, whatever, no big deal. But
humble brag.
No, but I absolutely love Jamal Williams. Like he's just dancing all the time. I feel like you couldn't get him in a bad mood. Like you could, like I can't imagine Jamal Williams at home doing whatever, and he stubs his toe and he gets mad, like he would just dance it off. You know what I mean? He would just dance it off.
I love it, Matt. We got to get to the phone lines here in a minute, so I'm gonna let you do your send away. I appreciate your time. Let's do a cheers, and I want you to give a ceremonial toast to the first Packers victory of the season.
Week 1, 1-0. Let's get it. Cheers, my man. Appreciate it.
So inspirational, Matty. So inspirational.
I got nothing.
That's Matt Ramage.
Hey, I appreciate having me.
Yes, thank you, Matt. That's Matt Ramage. He's the host of the Ramblin' Matt Ramage podcast, and he's bringing it, man. He was drinking his beer. He was celebrating a victory, just like you should on a Sunday. As the Packers now 1-0 again, the final 43-34. We're still taking your calls for the next 20 minutes or so. 877-878-7683. We've got Ethan on the line. Ethan, what's up, my man? How are you?
Hey, howdy. I'm doing good. Hey, I was wondering, like, what do you think of Packers not deciding to use A.J. Dillon on the goal line when they had missed that opportunity on 4th and goal to Devontae and got knocked out of his hand?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Ethan. And I appreciate the call, appreciate the question. Look, you're absolutely spot on. We talked about that 2-minute drill in the first half where they just couldn't convert. They were on the 1-yard line for 3 plays, Ethan. 3 plays they were on the 1-yard line, and they didn't bring in the guy that is designed to plow that in. I'm with you. I'm confused on the decision. I know he didn't get a lot of full-speed reps given no preseason, but he's still a bulky guy. The entire offseason we were oogling and googling, if you will, over the size of A.J. Dillon's legs. So that is the guy made for that goal line situation. I'm glad they got the victory because that non-score in the red zone there could have proved crucial, but I'm with you. I agree. I would have liked to see him at least get one go there, right?
Yeah, because then the next series they gave him he finally got his first carry. But I'm like watching. I'm like, this is why we drafted the guy in the second round because we needed a bruiser, and that's what we were missing last season. And I'm like, this is the opportunity. Why not do it? But I don't know. I guess I'm not the coach yet.
Yeah, I guess so. That's why I'm wearing a headset and you're sitting on the phone with me, Ethan. That's the reason you and I weren't on the sidelines at the stadium,
exactly.
at US Bank Stadium. Before I let you go, Ethan, what'd you take away from Aaron Rodgers today? Huge day for him.
Oh, exactly. I mean, he played phenomenal. I thought he was dropping them right on the dime. There wasn't many throws he didn't make. He was letting go. He wasn't taking sacks. I think he was aggressive and he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't play better.
Yeah, he played phenomenally. Again, Ethan, really appreciate the call, my man. Thanks for listening. That's Ethan calling in. Talking about A.J. Dillon not being used in that goal line situation in the first half. I'm with Ethan on that one, man. How do you not go the direction of the guy who's getting compared to Derrick Henry, who we saw in the commercials all game long was rattling off 99-yard runs last season? So I agree. I would have liked to see A.J. Dillon at least get one chance to plunge it in that goal line situation there in the first half. The use of Josiah DeGuara, who we thought was going to be that big H-back for the Packers, he wasn't really utilized there either. It was Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers looking to do something. And, well, usually that works. It just didn't in this situation. And Ethan makes a great point. You draft him in the second round. He's the bruiser who's getting compared to Derrick Henry. Why the hell aren't you plugging him in with 3 feet to go? That seems like the perfect situation to use him. I'm with Ethan on that one. And you can call me like he just did. 877-878-7683 is the number to do that. That is the number. Now, at halftime, I made the tweet of what we would be talking about after the game. And one of my topics was, is MVS a true number 2 after today's performance? And, of course, I jumped the gun on that because MVS had me feeling like Matt Freilich a couple times in the third quarter. It sounded something like this.
Catch the football.
Yeah, that was Matt Freilich's advice to Marquez Valdes-Scantling after his 2 big drops in the third quarter. One more time, Matt, what's your advice for MVS?
Catch the football.
Catch the football. And he listened. They just decided to link up for about 40 yards a couple plays later on a free play. Rodgers, vintage 12, drawing somebody off sides. Goes to the air, tests MVS after 2 big drops, and they get it into the end zone, which they eventually convert on with another Devontae Adams' second of 2 touchdowns there in the third quarter, late third quarter. So you got to be happy with MVS. Obviously, those 2 drops aren't ideal. It looked like a situation where obviously we wanted him to make those plays, but he ultimately fell short. But 2 big catches for him for over 30 yards each. We'll take that. And producer Kyle's in my ear now saying we've got the one and only Jimmy Christensen on the line. Jimmy, what's up, my man?
What's up, dude?
How you feeling?
You know, I feel great. I feel very good. Had a few beers, watched the Packers win. I don't know. I can't get much better right now.
You can't get much better. So what's on your mind? What made you call me, Jimmy? What made you think I want to talk to you?
Well, no, the big thing is our offensive line depth. We got to figure something out with that.
Jared Valdir?
With that. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Jared
if
Valdir
Goody's not already on the phone, even snacks, yeah.
I don't know. Even with Lane Taylor going down, I feel just horrible for the man because he came back this year and killed it, earned his spot back, and I don't know. That sucks. But Runyon played really well, or pretty well. So I don't know. We just got to figure something out.
Yeah, and with the whole situation, you can only carry 8 offensive linemen. I mean, I know that's usually around the number you keep, but now with the Packers down 2 guys, you imagine what Brian Gutekunst is doing this week, especially with Kenny Clark going down as well, Jimmy. Is he making those calls to Jared Valdir? Is he making a call to Snacks Harrison, guys that have received phone calls from Brian Gutekunst in the past? And it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, we don't know the severity of any of these injuries yet. Lane Taylor's did not look good of the 3. It looked the worst. In my opinion, the cart came out for him. We'll see, Jimmy. We will see.
Oh, yeah. Who's so like, let's say you're Goody. What are you addressing first, your D-line or your offensive line?
It's got to be the offensive line, although we watched Dalvin Cook have a pretty solid day today. When you have two guys go down like that, that's putting you in an almost emergency situation. You've only got one extra guy to go, so it's got to be the O-line.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And like you said too, since Lane Taylor's injury looks so much worse, like Kenny Clark's groin injury can linger all year, but Montavious Adams will be coming back, and that will be helpful. But at that offensive line position, with Billy Turner already hurt, Patrick's shoulder's messed up now, or was for this game at least, and then Taylor goes down. It's we're looking pretty thin right there. So yeah, I'm with you. Here, I thought you were going to screw up the answer, but you surprised me and didn't mess it up.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate you having so much faith in me, Jimmy. I appreciate the call. You can catch Jimmy on the Game On Wisconsin roundtable at 7:30 tonight. Jimmy, appreciate you calling, buddy.
All right, man. See ya.
That's Jimmy Christensen of Game On Wisconsin. Decided to hop on the line. Give us a ring. Tell us what's on his mind. Producer Kyle, I want to know what's on your mind, my friend. How are you feeling? About 30 minutes removed, more like 45 minutes removed from the first Packers victory of the year.
Still feeling great. I mean, going into it, if you guys watch, I produced Pulse of the Pack with Jacob Westendorf and Jason Perrone and Paul Brettel. And we were all in agreement that, this was going to be a Packers win. But you always just, me personally, I get those jitters 5 to 10 minutes before the game starts. And you're like, you just get those jitters. And, I saw the Vikings go down the field pretty easily on their first drive. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. This is, going to be a day for Dalvin Cook. And it still kind of was. They held him relatively in check with the yards, but I believe he did have 2 touchdowns. I'm feeling good. I really am. It feels great to be 1-0 on the year. Defense does need that killer instinct.
Yeah, that's a great point by PWW there.
Yeah, they need to. I've seen it a lot. Between Dom Capers and now Mike Pettin, their pre-vet offense is just not good. And I have a call, so I'm going to get off the cam.
That's fair enough. Let's screen a call, and I'll keep talking about what PWW chimed in with. The defense needs that killer instinct down the stretch, way too soft in the fourth. And we mentioned I was picking on Jair a lot, who did have a really solid outing today. And that was because he got burned by Adam Thielen there late in the fourth. And while it wasn't super meaningful, it was still a burn and a touchdown for Adam Thielen. And maybe if you have him plugged in your fantasy lineup, you can probably be happy with that. But nonetheless, the Packers get a W today. They get it done. They've got Detroit in Lambeau next week. I'll be interested to see what happens there with Detroit. As I mentioned at the top, I'm high on Detroit, as I know a lot of people are. But we'll see. Green Bay, Detroit next week. Detroit lets one slip. 93.8 win probability today for Detroit with under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and they let it slip to 3 fourth quarter touchdowns and Mitch Trubisky. But we go back to the phone lines now. Joey from Green Bay on the line with us. Hey, Joey, what's on your mind?
Hey, so I was just really interested to see that Matt LaFleur got all 4 running backs involved in the game today. Obviously, we didn't see too much of A.J. Dillon, but really right from the start, we saw Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, and Tyler Ervin, which I was really surprised by after, both games were really all season last year. A lot of Aaron Jones didn't. We saw Tyler Ervin near the end, but I was really glad to see all 4 running backs in the game.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, Joey. Appreciate the call. Look, that Tyler Ervin point is such a good one because that's a guy we've spent a lot of time on talking about. No matter what you listen to or watch or whatever it is, there's been a lot of time spent on Tyler Ervin this season because of his flexibility, of his versatility. There was talk of him playing wide receiver. Didn't see a ton of that today, but you saw him used in the first possession of the game where the Packers went up 3-0. That took 7.5 minutes long. It took half the first quarter. But you saw Tyler Ervin get a run on third down, the first possession of the game, which I don't know if I expected that. I expected Tyler Ervin involvement, but I didn't expect him to get a third down run right out the gates against Minnesota. And again, you bring up A.J. Dillon. I would like to see his workload increased, and it will as the season goes on. But I like where we saw him. Obviously, as we've said a few times now, the only part where it frustrates me is where you're on the 1 yard line and you don't use your power back like A.J. Dillon. But Jamal still has a heavy workload, as, of course, does Aaron Jones, still looking for that contract as Dalvin Cook got over the weekend. So overall, good on the 4 RBs. I'm with you on this one, Joey.
All right. I appreciate it. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, go Pack, go. Appreciate the phone call. That's Joey calling in about the running back situation. All four of them did see playing time today. He's right on that. But are you happy? I'd be happy to hear all of you watching along on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Were you okay with the workload A.J. Dillon got today? Would you like to see more A.J. Dillon? Would you like to see less A.J. Dillon? Were you okay with the amount of playing time he saw? I'm going to feature some of those comments here in about 2 minutes. So please feel free to chime in if you're kicking it with us. My name's Alex Strouf. I'm the host of the Post Route. You can connect with the show using hashtag PostRouteWI or tweet us at GameOnWI or at Alex_Strouf right on your screen. We're having fun breaking down a Packers W today. The Packers are 1-0. Pettin went limp in the fourth. Why not keep the pressure on? As Matt LaFleur once famously said, Jason, all gas, no effing brakes. And that's not exactly how Matt LaFleur said it, but I'm just going to keep it PG-13. The pressure came off. You're right. And maybe that was a Kirk Cousins figuring things out. Kirk Cousins threw 5 passes in the first half. He threw more than 5 passes in the second half because they were down for all of the second half. He threw 20 passes in the second half, 5 of which. So he's 19 of 25 overall, 259, 2 touchdowns in that pick to Jair. But he went 3 for 5 in the first half. So the defensive backs maybe aren't something we should be so confident in because the workload went up for Kirk Cousins throwing the football. And the points went up for Minnesota. So hopefully that's not something that aches in the long run. But we'll see. We will see. We've got more calls rolling in as the founder, the creator, the mastermind behind Game On Wisconsin has decided I'm important enough to talk to this afternoon. It's Jacob Westendorf on the line. What's up, Jabe? How are you?
Alex, I can't get enough of you, man. I had to call in and say what's up first and foremost. It's a good show. I'm happy to have you hanging around. How are you doing? How's it flowing?
It's flowing good. I'm feeling good. Obviously, a victory is a good thing, right, Jacob? So I'm not too mad about that.
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good right about now. It's been a fun little day. Victory Sunday flowing into Victory Monday is a pretty good little thing. First of all, I wanted to bring up something I know Jimmy brought in about the offensive line depth. John Runyon kind of not getting glossed over a little bit here with the discussions here. The game was still kind of hanging in the balance when he came in, and granted, the Vikings, it's not like we're playing the old school purple people eaters, but he more than held his own, I thought, on the offensive line there. So somebody that maybe could be a stand-in there for a few weeks should the Packers need to play him here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I mean, the 6th-round pick didn't look like a 6th-round pick. He didn't back down in his first NFL game, let alone seeing real time in his first NFL game. So that was good to see. Yeah, we mentioned the Lane Taylor injury did not look pretty at all. So we'll see if he's able to squeak his way somewhere into the lineup as he did today. But before I let you go, Jacob, Jared Valdir, is that a yes or a no this week?
That was a yes for me 6 weeks ago. So it's still a yes for me now.
It's a bigger yes. It's an absolutely now. Jacob also will be on the Game On Wisconsin Roundtable at 7:30 p.m. That is our nightcap to a Victory Sunday. Jacob, go have a beer. Appreciate the call.
Thank you. Good looking forward.
So Jacob, going to go drink a beer. He's got Game On Wisconsin Roundtable tonight, along with Jimmy, who called in before. We've got time for a couple more phone calls. We'll keep the lines open. I'm not even going to try to pronounce how that's said, but do you think the Smith Bros were quiet today? Go Pack, go from Manchester, United Kingdom. All right. Well, I appreciate you chiming in. It looks like Adam is the name. So Adam, thanks for chiming in from Manchester, UK. What time is it over there, Adam? And yeah, I mean, they were relatively quiet, right? We saw a sack out of Z in the first half, but that was really about it. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. The rushing game wasn't like off the charts by any mean for Dalvin Cook. He had a good game, but it wasn't something like we saw last year when he ran for, what was it, in the one game he played against Green Bay last year. I know I have it somewhere. I think 154 yards. That sounds right to me. 20 carries, 154 yards, and a touchdown last year for Dalvin Cook in his one game against the Packers. So that's interesting, as the Packers definitely brought that down this go around. But were the Smith brothers quiet? Sure, you can make the case. They weren't all over like we were used to last year, but they still played their role, and the Packers still got a victory. But when a defense is allowing 34 points, those big names might not be as loud. And Jair Alexander was by far the loudest. Christian Kirksey had a nice day, 12 tackles. And a guy I wanted to get to as well, Chris Barnes. Holy smokes, did he have a good day. 5 solo tackles and 2 tackles for loss for Chris Barnes today in his Packers debut. So that was good to say. But yeah, Zadarius only with 2 tackles, and Preston Smith not even on the box score today. So yes, they were quiet. If one of them doesn't even make the box score, they are collectively quiet, Adam, as it's 10 p.m. in Manchester, UK. So only 6 hours ahead of here, Lambeau Field time. So that's interesting. I guess I don't know UK stuff, but 10 p.m. I appreciate you staying up late with us, Adam. Thanks for chiming in on the Periscope chat on Twitter. Michael Wengen chimes in. I'm a bit concerned about the injuries that the Packers had today. They made it through the regular season last year, staying relatively healthy, but 3 today in the first game is kind of concerning. And this is something we've spent weeks talking about. Injuries are going to be higher out of the gate. You don't have the real action. Not all of these guys are in football games every week shape. I'm not saying they're not in football shape, because we saw 2 teams put up over 30 points against one another today. Clearly, they still know how to play football, but their bodies are not used to playing a war for 60 minutes every 7 days. They're just not, and that might take a few weeks. Hopefully, none of these are too serious, Michael. And the Lane Taylor one did look the most serious of the 3. Gotta hope it's not. Gotta hope it's just a bad tweak and he's ready to go in a few weeks. But you got to be concerned, and that's the weird thing about this COVID year, right? There's going to be more transactions than ever, in my opinion. And it was great to see the NFL did not have any positive COVID tests going into this week. But what happens when you do? What happens when you do? Runyon and Wagner held up well on the right side. Jason said, yes, they did. Better than I expected, to be quite honest with you, right? We're used to Billy Turner in there, but Runyon held his own when he came in late, and Wagner filled in well. And Jason follows that up with Packers-Ravens Super Bowl. Let's hold our horses on a Super Bowl prediction. When you're allowing 34 points in week 1, you still got things to work on. Now, Aaron Rodgers looks like he is in absolute MVP shape. He's got to be the MVP frontrunner after one game, right? I can't be wrong there. He's got to be the MVP frontrunner after the performance he had today. And I know we've still got a couple games to play. I'm watching the Saints-Bucks to my right. That's why I'm looking over there. But he's got to be. I mean, what a day for Aaron Rodgers. And I think what really defined his game today was that 2-minute drill scenario, throwing 2 touchdown passes after failing to convert in the red zone for a touchdown after 3 tries in that first half. That defines Aaron Rodgers for me. That shows how good that guy is responding to adversity, and how he can turn on the Jets whenever he needs to. He doesn't look like he's aged. He looks really comfortable in year 2 of a Matt LaFleur system. How can't you be excited with what Aaron Rodgers showed today? Producer Kyle, let's bring you in. Let's wrap it up, my friend. We appreciate all the phone calls today. We're doing this every single Sunday, breaking down what I hope is like 18 more Packers victories the next couple Sundays and a few Mondays. But Kyle, let's wrap it up, man. What was the thing you were most impressed with today from the Packers? And then we'll follow that up with what scared you the most from the Packers aside from injuries.
The thing that impressed me was the most the fact that you saw, our other receivers step up. You saw Lazard take a step. You saw MVS, more shocking to me, I think, take a step. I know he had those couple drop passes, but he still had a great game from a guy who really did not have a good season. He's one of those guys that, they're looking for another leap from. And I think if you have MVS in your back pocket for those deep throws, that's what I was very impressed with was MVS's play. I know he had the 2 drops.
Yeah, the 2 drops that made you, probably you as well, sit back and say something.
Catch the football.
Catch the football.
Yeah. And then what I am most concerned with is obviously giving up 34 points. I understand that last one was probably a gimme, garbage time. How much can you really interpret that? But, I know Darnell Savage got beaten once on a touchdown. Jair got beaten on the last one. I believe both were Adam Thielen catches. For a wide receiver core in Minnesota that really isn't that much better than Green Bay's, it is a little concerning to drop 34 points. But, like I said, how much can you really interpret that? The Packers pretty much had the game. I want to say they had the game won by the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
So how much can you really The fact that the Packers could go back down and score right away as soon as the Vikings would score, that's huge.
It was 29-10 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. It was a 3-possession game then, so there was really no worries. You can't just cruise. They still put points on the board after that, obviously, 2 more touchdowns. But overall, and I want to pull up, if you don't mind, Kyle, Jamie's comment, run defense is concerning, correct or overreaction, as the rest of the YouTube chat has been telling her. That's correct. Of course it is. I don't think we should really bring in, I understand the Snacks Harrison talk is going to happen this week, especially with Kenny Clark going down, but Dalvin Cook had a quieter day than I expected. At least, am I out of touch there? He
had the 2
carries for 50 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He had the 2 touchdowns, but if you take away those touchdowns, 12 carries for 50 yards, if you can keep Dalvin Cook to that, you're winning likely 9 times out of 10. You play the Vikings.
So we will see what happens moving forward. But Adrian Peterson and company, DeAndre Swift and company as well. The next running backs on the Packers board, and the week after that, 2 weeks from today, Sunday night game. So we'll wrap it up real late with you. I might be a few beers deep at that point. But on the 27th, Alvin Kamara is the Packers running back, and then Todd Gurley and the Falcons, Leonard Fournette and the Bucks, David Johnson and the Texans, Dalvin Cook again.
Does not get easy.
Raheem Mostert, who tore them up. I don't know who the running back for the Jags is. I'm not going to lie to you. Jonathan Taylor, and depending on Marlon Mack's health, mid-November. Again, they will see the Bears, so Montgomery and Cohen in November and December. The Eagles, it depends what's going on with Miles Sanders at that point. And then the Lions again. The Panthers and Christian McCaffrey, and then the Titans and Derrick Henry. So the last 3 games for the Packers go Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and then Montgomery and Cohen, the final game of the year. So there's no doubt about it, Jamie, that with the amount of yards left out there and the fact that there will be better running backs down the road, that's true. I just listed Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey as 2. But it's still the first game. It's still the first live action we got. So I don't think that we should overreact. I'm not saying you are. I don't think it's unfair to say that it's concerning right now, but I don't think it's time to blow up the ship and say, oh my God, this team's screwed. And I'm not saying you're doing that, but I don't think anybody should be doing that because it's game 1. You're on the right side of the win-loss column, and there's no ties, so that's good too.
Matt Schneidman almost owed me $500. I'm just saying, if there was a tie in today's game, Matt Schneidman almost owed me $500. So
wow, why is that? Did you make a bet on Twitter or something?
It was a joke out of mainly anything. I know it got some pretty good following. It was mainly a joke more than anything, but would have been nice to win half a grand.
Fair enough.
Go ahead. I was secretly rooting for a tie in the back of my head. I know probably odds of that happening are slim to none, but you win $500. It's $500.
It's $500 is $500 indeed. That's producer Kyle Hoffenbecker at K Hoffenbecker on Twitter. I'm Alex Strouf at Alex_Strouf on Twitter. And there's only one way to send it off. We do it the same way we did it this morning. We're going to bang on the drum all day, baby. Because that is a Packers W. Your final from US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis is 43-34. The Packers are 1-0 on the season. They'll host the Lions next week, and we'll see you then. I'm Alex Strouf. Good night, everybody.